Peglin is a pachinko-inspired roguelike with turn-based elements. You play as this cute little goblin guy. Fight enemies by shooting orbs and popping pegs, and throughout your run, you collect different orbs and relics to give you game-changing effects. Like any other roguelike, if you die, you start over with nothing. This game is illustrated in 2D pixel graphics. The user interface is well designed and recently received a quality of life update to make things more whimsical and easy to read. The first new change I realized is the after battle menu. This potion bottle for healing wasn't here before. It looks much better than the red ribbon that it used to be. The backgrounds are well designed as they give a good feel for the atmosphere you're in without being visually overwhelming or taking away from the visual interest of the playing field. The enemies are creatively designed as well, and each area has very distinct creatures and features. The animations are well crafted and smooth, from the enemy attacks and your own attacks to the bouncing balls and popping pegs in the playfield. The music is very lively. I love the funky tunes composed of combinations of the drums, piano, xylophone, and bass. The music changes depending on the map as well. During the castle levels, you hear so much more guitar, especially during the final boss battle. I love it. The gameplay of this game is deceptively simple and gets much more complicated as you gain more relics and orbs. The game isn't brain dead. You have to think about the orbs and relics you take to create a build with synergy, or you will not make it far. The individual turns you take can affect you greatly too. Having said that, let's get into what the combat looks like. To the left, you see your loaded orbs. Here, you see your currently loaded orb, a description of their effect, and their normal damage from popping a peg, and their critical damage. More on crits in a second. As you take a turn and shoot an orb, that one in particular is out of rotation until you reload. You take it a whole turn to reload, and the enemies will advance on you and attack on your reloading turn. If you don't want to launch the orb loaded, you can trash it, but it will be unavailable until you reload again. If you're unsure of what the effects of your orb or relics are, you can hover over them with your mouse at any time for a more detailed description. Up above, you can see yourself to the left and the encroaching enemies coming from the right. Some orbs allow you to target a specific enemy, but most will hit the first enemy in either the top or bottom row. To the right of the playfield, you can see the enemies that are coming out to play next, kind of like Tetris telling you your next piece. Moving on to the actual playfield, there are 4 kinds of pegs. There are the normal plain Jane pegs, coin pegs that give you a gold coin and are your main source of income, green reset pegs that reset the board back to what it was before any pegs were popped, and finally yellow crit pegs that increase the damage that all pegs are worth to the critical damage of that particular orb. The effects of a critical unfortunately do not stack if you pop multiple crit orbs in one turn. During editing, I realized that I forgot to mention the 5th and actually final pegs, the bomb pegs. These take 1 hit to light the fuse and a 2nd hit for you to actually use them. Before you throw your orb for damage, the goblin will throw the bomb, dealing by default 50 damage to all enemies on screen. After a battle, you're presented your possible paths to take at the bottom of the screen, and they are depicted by the icons you see on the map. You can attempt to plan your route down the map to the boss waiting for you at the bottom, but sometimes it's still up to luck. There are 5 types of rooms you can encounter throughout the course of the map. Battle rooms, elite battle rooms that pit you against stronger enemies, relic rooms that give you free relic, shops where you spend gold for new orbs, relics, or even to remove an orb if you so choose, and the random rooms, which can turn out to be any of the before mentioned, as well as random encounters you will not experience otherwise. These random encounters can have very mild to very wild effects. Things like giving you special orbs limited to these rooms, relics limited to these rooms as well, and even giving you gold, health, or even duplicating all of your orbs in your satchel. The possibilities are endless. Almost. A lot of the time there will be a cost, and it's up to you to determine if it's worth it and if the effects can benefit you depending on the relics and orbs you already have. Upon reaching the bottom of the map, you'll fight a unique boss, 1 of 2 for each map. When you defeat them, you will get your pick of 3 relics. And don't worry if you lose a lot of HP, as you'll get a full heal when you start the next map. There are 3 main levels to beat, and upon beating them, you unlock the Crucible mode that you can toggle on and off by pressing C on your keyboard. Crucible adds on more layers of challenge if you decided that this game wasn't hard enough already. You can get this game on Steam for $20, and it's also available on mobile. If you're an enjoyer of roguelike games, then I would recommend this one to you. If you're unsure, you can always watch out for a Steam sale. One thing I'd like to note is I have accidentally hit the skip relic button before, and in this oh shit moment, I tried exiting to the main menu, and when I loaded back in, I was able to select my relic. I just wanted to share in case this happens to anybody else. I'll see you guys in the next video.